I've been playing a ton, and I mean a ton of Helldivers 2 in the past week, and I can say that even after a year of major controversy surrounding the game and fluctuating player numbers, it is just as worth it to play it right now as it was 9 months ago. In my opinion, Helldivers 2 is one of, if not the best co-op shooters I feel like I've ever played in my entire life. Its map design, its enemies that you can fight, the many different types of stratagems, weapons, and equipment you can use to dispatch the enemies, and the robot sides and the bugs. I would personally love to see a completely new enemy type with all these different variations, with the bugs getting new additions every once in a while, and the robots, I'm pretty sure they've had a new addition with like these big strider looking robots I've been seeing recently that really remind me of AT-ATs from Star Wars. It's just an unbelievable amount of support that Arrowhead Studios has been giving Helldivers 2, and again, with the massive success, and I'm pretty sure over at least 10 to 20 million players as of this year. I'm just throwing that out, I don't know if that's actually confirmed, I'm pretty sure the numbers are around there. This game is huge. The game is massively successful, and it still has a pretty big player base on Steam, and I'm also guessing the PlayStation console, and honestly, in my opinion, I would love to see this come to Xbox. For those players who do want to play this game but are restricted by consoles, or if they don't have enough money to pay for a PlayStation or want to get a PC and they only play on an Xbox console, I really feel like it would be awesome to give those players access to this banger. Helldivers 2 is also just an extremely refreshing video game. It puts its gameplay first. Not its monetization, not its live service, but its core loop gameplay. They could make a video game with new updates every single week. Big new updates, new enemies, new maps, new designs. It wouldn't really matter on a grand scale of things if the gameplay wasn't good at its core, and Helldivers 2 has good bones. And what I mean by when I say Helldivers 2 has good bones is that it has good structure. You can build upon it. You can expand as far as you want. They don't have to spend a year of development time restructuring the main game because they perfected it at launch. And obviously we've seen plenty of controversy through what Sony did with the PlayStation Network when they were attempting to force that onto Steam players, and the game received a lot of backlash. Now, I don't believe Arrowhead deserves any of that fault, and I really feel like if Sony didn't pull that, we would be seeing Helldivers 2 in the Game of the Year discussion. I genuinely do. Now, I would personally argue if, we could swap out a game, I would personally want to put Helldivers 2 in replacement of one of the current games that are being nominated for Game of the Year. Because Helldivers 2, it's just an extremely refreshing video game. It's something that we haven't seen in a long time. It's something that the marketing push for it was mostly done by players, which is really funny enough. All Arrowhead had to do was put out a trailer, and the players did the marketing for them. And when a game is that good, when you have that good of a premise, and players can market the game for you, I really feel like there's just something special there. And then combining that premise and amazing marketing done by the community and also by Arrowhead, combined with the replayability of this game, I would argue this is one of the most replayable games you could ever play in terms of multiplayer. Every single match you have will be different, I guarantee it. From the different planets, again from the different enemy types, from the different actual objectives that you're forced to go on. My favorite one being launching the ICBM. Ending it off with a massive nuclear explosion in the distance that actually affects the rest of the map you're on by giving it a giant, push of air. And even if you're close to the missile when it's actually launching off, it can kill you, launching your character as well, which I didn't know at first and I thought was pretty funny. And then keep in mind that this is also one of the best sandboxes that I feel like I've ever played in, with hilarious moments also coming into play. Just before I started to film this video, I played a round where we had to extract, and I was in my new mech that I got because I recently hit level 25, and the first thing that I purchased was the mech stratagem. And funny enough, I accidentally shot another mech with my mech's missiles. Now, no one was in the mech, but I blew it up, and then someone was about to throw the 500k nuclear bomb, that you drop, but it fell out of his hand, so I immediately turned around to walk away, and everyone just immediately ran away from the extraction site. Thankfully, no one died to the explosion, but unfortunately, one of our teammates did die, straight after, and I immediately typed in the chat, "I'm extremely sorry." It's moments like that that offer hilarious gameplay, and also just something that can happen, right? We had a normal match completely. It was a completely normal match. We were fighting some enemies. We're about to extract. It was a pretty easy extraction as well. We weren't really being overwhelmed. But then something like that can just completely change the end of the game. I just feel like moments like that can make the game a lot more fun. And it just adds that variety to the gameplay that other games don't have. And when we're in a current gaming industry where a lot of the modern AAA games that we keep seeing, and I'm going to mention these, and I always mention these three, not because of the controversy around them, but I like to think of it as the games were just not that good. Concord, Dragon Age the Veilguard, and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I've played all three of these games. I didn't like them. I was not big fans of them. And I recently picked up Suicide Squad for $5 in the Epic Games Store. Funny enough, I can't refund it for cash, so I could have bought it on the Steam store when they, gave it a sale, which I was kind of annoyed by because now I have to play it on the Epic Games Store and I'm not buying it again. But the games just aren't that good. The gameplay isn't that great. The writing is definitely not that great. The graphics, I'd say, are like the one thing going for Veilguard and Suicide Squad. Now, Concord was just a horrible game all around. It was a hero shooter attempting to break into a market that costed $40. It was just a bad idea from the start. But then you have a game like Helldivers 2, and then other games like Space Marines 2, right? 2 seems to be doing really successful this year, but these games are really just innovating, and they're just also fun. And I've said this so many times in previous videos, but that's what video games should be. They should be fun first. And Helldivers 2, whether playing solo or playing with friends, and I've had a ton of fun just playing this solo. Like, just going into a random lobby, I've had tons of fun. I can just use it for gameplay. I love just listening to YouTube videos while I'm struggling to fight like a ton of bugs or automatrons. I love it. It's a lot of fun. And that's what I expect out of video games in our modern age of gaming. I want them to be fun first, and Helldivers 2 is exactly that. If every single game that I play in the future is as fun as this, like, we're gonna have some bangers. I don't think that the industry is gonna be following Helldivers 2 example for fun first, sandbox first, and just enjoyable experiences with co-op, but I hope that the industry can also take notes of what Helldivers 2 did with its awesome community support, its extremely good, like, actual communication with the community and transparency, and just everything else that Helldivers 2 has done extremely well, with the monetization as well. And that's the one thing I also love about the monetization. You literally do not need to spend any money on this game outside of the initial purchase, which I love. I recently just unlocked my first stratagem, or like the war bond, with just picking up all the super credits from inside the game, or almost 30 hours of gameplay. Now, for my next one, I might just outright buy it, because I'm not spending another 30 hours collecting it, and I want to like progress a bit more to unlock more guns. But it's cool that that offer's there. If you just want to spend $40 and, you're okay with spending dozens and dozens of hours collecting the little bits of super credits every once in a while to unlock this new progression system, that's fine. And I do like the armor and weapons that it gives you. It gives you some pretty unique armors and weapons. I got like this cool energy gun that like one-shots bugs, and I was like, hell yeah, like the flying ones too. And I was one-shotting them out of the sky, even though its accuracy is kind of off. There's a lot of ammo per clip, and also you get like 5 clips. It's just, there's a lot of really cool things about Helldivers 2 I could really go into, and I know I'm kind of just rambling here, but if you haven't played Helldivers 2, and you're watching this and you're like, look, this guy needs to get to the point. Should I be playing this game? Yes, you should. You 100% should. Don't care if it's on sale. Don't care if you want to spend a lot of money on it. If you don't even want to touch the monetization, you don't need to. The initial war bond that it gives you has tons of armors, has tons of weapons to unlock, different kinds of grenades, different kinds of capes, just a bunch of customization. You don't even need to buy any of the monetization. It'll still probably take you 10 to 15 to 20 hours to fully max out that first war bond. But like I just said, if you haven't played Helldivers 2 or are still on the fence about it, go pick up the game. Do yourself a favor. Even if you pick it up as like a Christmas gift to yourself, please. It is so worth it. Even if you and a few buddies pick it up, even I feel like if you just want to play it solo just to try it out, it is 100% worth your money, worth your time, and it's rewarding. It's just, when you feel like you've done something in a game, whether it's advancing the war orders that the developers give you to unlock more stratagems and more unique rewards, it feels like you're doing something as a community. Even if you're playing solo, you're collectively together with tens of thousands of other players in Helldivers, collecting towards one objective of liberating a planet or killing a certain amount of bugs or robots. It's just one of the best community-based games I've ever played as well. And I'm hoping that Helldivers 2 gets the, just rewards it deserves from, things like the Game Awards and a bunch of other journalist sites saying, yes, this game for community support, for co-op, and just for everything like that, it deserves these rewards. It deserves the recognition it gets. And I feel like it should have, even though it already has, I think, over 10 to 20 million copies sold, it should have a lot more, because it is such a good game. But I want to thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy and want to see more content like this, just talking about games or even Helldivers 2 content, consider leaving a like, sharing, commenting, and subscribing if you so choose to. Thank you all for watching this video and listening to me ramble about this. Again, I really enjoyed this game and just would love to be playing more of it in the future. I'm really excited to see where Arrowhead takes this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.